I thought proposing to Vanessa would be the best moment of my life. Instead, it became the beginning of my downfall. If you've ever loved someone so much that you convinced yourself they were out of your league, you'll understand how blind I was. I spent 5 years with Vanessa, a social media influencer with hundreds of thousands of followers. She lived in the spotlight while I lived in the background, happy to hold the camera, happy to cheer her on from the sidelines. But love makes you do stupid things. And in my case, it made me ignore the warning signs until it was too late. I met Vanessa when I was 22 and working in IT support at a small firm in Austin, Texas. She wasn't famous yet, just starting out with Instagram modeling and brand deals. Back then, she was approachable, fun, and wild in a way that made me feel alive. We met through mutual friends at a weekend barbecue. I still remember the first time she looked at me and said, "You're quiet, but you've got those eyes that look like you're hiding something deep." No one had ever said something like that to me before. I was hooked. Our relationship moved fast. Within a year, we were living together. By year 3, she had blown up online. I became Vanessa's boyfriend to most people, and honestly, I didn't mind. I liked being the supportive guy in the shadows. The thing about dating influencer is that everything is about appearances. She had to look perfect, smile perfect, and keep her relatable yet glamorous image going. And me? I was just Brad Wood, average height, IT nerd, paid about $65,000 a year. Not ugly, but not the kind of guy people picture when they think influencer power couple. Whenever we'd go to events or influencer parties, I always felt like the plus one that didn't belong. People would look at her, then look at me, and I could practically hear the silent question, "How did he end up with her?" I'd laugh it off, but inside, it chipped away at me. I started believing I really was lucky just to have her, that I needed to hold on no matter what. By year 5, I decided it was time. I'd been saving for months, squirreling away part of every paycheck until I could afford a decent ring. Nothing flashy, but respectable. $4,200 for a 1-carat diamond with a simple gold band. I even planned the proposal in a way that fit her influencer lifestyle. A private dinner at a rooftop restaurant in Dallas, complete with fairy lights, candles, and a skyline view. My friend Marcus helped me coordinate it. I knew she'd want the photos, the content, the moment. When the day finally came, my hands were shaking the entire drive. I was nervous, but I told myself it was the good kind of nerves. We got to the rooftop just as the sun was setting. The waiter brought out champagne, the city lights flickered on, and I dropped to one knee. "Vanessa Lee," I said, my voice cracking, "will you marry me?" Her eyes widened, her hands flew to her mouth, and then she squealed, "Yes, of course!" The entire restaurant clapped. Phones came out, strangers recorded it. She cried pretty tears and held her hand out for photos of the ring. I thought I'd won. I thought this was the start of the rest of our lives. But less than 2 weeks later, I started hearing whispers. It began with Derek, one of my closest friends. He sat me down one night and said, "Brad, man, I don't know how to say this, but I've heard Vanessa's been seen with some guy after her collabs." I brushed it off. "She's an influencer, dude. People are always going to talk. It's part of the game." But Derek pressed. "No. I mean, people have seen her with him, more than once, and it doesn't look like business." I got defensive. "She said yes to me, Derek. She wants to marry me. Why would she throw that away?" He just shook his head. "Because she can." A month after the proposal, I found the proof. She'd left her laptop open in the living room. Normally, I respected her privacy, but that night something told me to look. I wish I hadn't. Messages with another guy, a fellow influencer with a bad boy image. Flirty, explicit, undeniable. Pictures. Plans. My heart sank. I felt like someone had poured ice water through my veins. She wasn't just cheating on me. She was carrying on an entire relationship behind my back while still smiling at me, still posting photos of us as the perfect couple. When I confronted her, I expected tears, apologies, begging. Instead, she rolled her eyes. "Brad, you're overreacting. It was nothing serious. You know how this industry works. It's about attention, about keeping up with appearances." I stared at her, my chest burning. "Appearances? You were sleeping with him." She shrugged. "And I still said yes to you, didn't I? That should tell you who I actually want." It was insane, twisted, But in that moment, I convinced myself she was right, that I should be grateful she still chose me, that losing her would be worse than swallowing the betrayal. So I forgave her. I told myself love was about patience, that she'd grow out of it, that I just needed to be stronger. But the truth was, I was weak. Life went back to normal after that, or at least that's what I pretended. She still posted couple photos, still smiled in public, still kissed me in front of the camera. But late at night, when she was asleep, I'd lie awake staring at the ceiling, wondering why I wasn't enough. Marcus and Derek noticed the change in me. I stopped hanging out, stopped laughing, stopped looking people in the eye. One day, Marcus cornered me at the gym. "Brad, you're killing yourself staying with her. You think forgiving her makes you noble, but it just makes you miserable. You need to raise your standards." I didn't answer him then, but his words stuck, and they would come back to save me later. People always say love makes you blind. In my case, it made me half dead. After forgiving Vanessa, I thought things would settle down, but the truth is, nothing inside me felt the same. On the surface, we looked like the perfect couple. Her followers cheered every photo of us, every cute video she posted of me bringing her coffee or kissing her forehead. But behind the camera, I felt hollow. And if it weren't for my friends, I don't know if I ever would have found the strength to change. Marcus and Derek had been my closest friends since high school. Marcus was the fitness nut, tall, built, and the kind of guy who could run 5 miles and not break a sweat. Derek was the blunt one. No filter, but always loyal. They'd stuck by me through everything, but even they were starting to lose patience with how much I'd let myself shrink around Vanessa. "Brad," Derek told me one night after we grabbed wings, "you're living in her shadow. You forgave her for cheating, and now you're walking around like a ghost. When's the last time you did something just for yourself?" I shrugged. "I don't know. She's busy with collabs, and I've been helping her edit content. It's what she needs right now." Marcus shook his head. "No, Brad. It's what she needs. What about what you need?" The question caught me off guard. What did I need? I hadn't thought about myself in years. A week later, Marcus showed up at my apartment at 6 a.m. He knocked so loud I thought something was wrong. When I opened the door, groggy and confused, he tossed a gym bag at me. "Get dressed." "What? Why?" "Because I'm sick of watching you waste away. You've got 2 choices, stay stuck in this rut or start building yourself back up. And if you don't come with me today, I swear I'll drag you out in your boxers." I laughed at first, but he wasn't joking. Derek was waiting in the car, grinning like he couldn't wait to see me suffer. So I went. Walking into that gym felt like walking into another world. Everyone seemed confident, focused, dripping sweat while blasting music in their headphones. I felt like an intruder. Marcus handed me a water bottle. "Don't worry about them. Focus on you." That first workout nearly killed me. I couldn't bench more than 95 pounds without my arms shaking. I couldn't run a mile without gasping like I was dying. Derek filmed part of it and laughed. "Man, you look like you're giving birth." I wanted to quit, but Marcus pushed me. "Every rep, every drop of sweat, it's proof you're not staying the same. Remember that." At first, I hated the gym. Every session left me sore. Every meal plan Marcus made me follow felt restrictive. Vanessa even mocked me. "Oh, look at you, gym bro now. What, are you trying to get attention like me?" She teased one night when I came home with sore arms. Her words stung, but Marcus's voice was louder in my head. "Don't quit. Don't stay stuck." Weeks turned into months. The weights got heavier. My runs got faster. My reflection in the mirror started to change. Muscles forming where I'd been soft, posture straighter, eyes less tired. And it wasn't just physical. I started speaking up more at work, volunteering for projects, reminding myself that I had skills beyond holding a camera for Vanessa. One night after a late gym session, Derek dropped me off at my apartment. Before I got out of the car, he said something that burned into me. "Brad, you forgave her because you thought she was above you. But let me ask you, what do you really bring to the table now compared to then?" I hesitated. "I don't know. I've been improving, I guess." He nodded. "Exactly. You're starting to realize you're not beneath her. You never were. You just let yourself believe it. The moment you stop worshiping her and start respecting yourself, that's the moment she loses her grip on you." That night, I couldn't sleep. His words replayed over and over. For the first time in years, I felt the spark of pride. By the end of year 6, Vanessa started noticing too. She'd watch me get ready for the gym, her eyes scanning me differently. "You've been posting your workouts online? Since when do people care what you have to say?" I shrugged. Since I started saying it. I had created a small Instagram page to track my progress. Nothing fancy, just clips of my workouts, motivational captions, little reflections on discipline and growth. To my surprise, people followed. Dozens at first, then hundreds. They messaged me about how my words motivated them to start working on themselves. It was small, but it felt real. Vanessa didn't like it. One night, she confronted me. "Brad, what are you even doing with this gym stuff? You're not an influencer. You're not me." The way she said me made me pause. She really believed she was on some pedestal above me. I replied, "Maybe I don't need to be you. Maybe I just need to be me." She scoffed and turned back to her phone, but I saw the flicker in her eyes. Jealousy. Through it all, Marcus and Derek never let me slip. Whenever I wanted to quit, Marcus reminded me, this isn't about muscles. It's about showing yourself you're worth the effort. Whenever Vanessa tried to undermine me, Derek reminded me, "She's scared, Brad. She sees you rising, and it threatens her. Keep going." Little by little, their voices got louder in my head than hers. By year 7, I was unrecognizable from the guy who once begged an influencer for love. I'd gained muscle, confidence, and most surprisingly, a growing online community that followed my journey. I wasn't just posting workouts anymore. I was sharing lessons about not settling, about building self-worth, about finding strength in the gym and in life. My page passed 50,000 followers, then 100,000. Brands started reaching out. I wasn't Vanessa's boyfriend anymore. I was Brad Wood, someone people actually listened to. And that's when everything really changed. Because the moment Vanessa realized I no longer needed her spotlight, she panicked. The moment my following started to grow, I felt like I'd been reborn. For years, I'd been Vanessa's boyfriend, the guy in the background, the one she could cheat on and still expect unconditional forgiveness. But now, for the first time, I wasn't defined by her. I was defined by me. And that terrified her. By the time my fitness and motivational page hit 150,000 followers, I wasn't just posting workouts anymore. I was telling my story. Not the full Vanessa part yet. I wasn't ready to torch the bridge. But the parts about being insecure, about losing yourself in a relationship, about finding your worth again. I'd record short videos after workouts. You don't have to be perfect to start. You just have to start. Stop treating people like they're above you. Your worth is the same as anyone's. To my surprise, those clips hit harder than the workouts. People messaged me saying I helped them leave toxic relationships, start therapy, or finally step into a gym. Meanwhile, Vanessa's content plateaued. She still had her loyal fans, but she wasn't growing the way she used to. Brands that once chased her were now reaching out to me. At first, Vanessa pretended to be supportive. "Wow, babe, you're really gaining traction," she'd say, her smile just a little too forced. But when I started making actual money, sponsorship deals, paid posts, her tone changed. One night, she snapped, "Don't let this go to your head, Brad. You're not cut out for this world like I am. You got lucky." I stared at her. For years, I believed I was lucky just to have her. But now, I realized luck had nothing to do with it. I'd put in the hours. I'd bled for this in the gym. I'd stayed up late editing videos after work, answering messages, building something real. It wasn't luck. It was effort. The more I grew, the more Vanessa pulled away. She stopped asking me to take photos of her, stopped inviting me to influencer events, stopped pretending we were the perfect couple. At first, I thought maybe this was good. Maybe we were just drifting naturally. But then I realized she wasn't just drifting. She was plotting. The breaking point came when I hit 300,000 followers. My videos were going viral on TikTok, and I was starting to get recognized in public. That's when Vanessa snapped. She went on Instagram Live one night and told her fans, "It's been hard watching someone you love change into someone you don't recognize. Brad isn't the sweet, supportive guy he used to be. He's obsessed with fame now, obsessed with his image. I don't even know who he is anymore." I wasn't watching live, but Derek sent me the clip. "Dude, she's throwing shade at you." At first, I wanted to ignore it. But then her fans started flooding my comments. You changed. You're just using her name to get famous. She made you. Don't forget that. It stung. It made me feel like I was right back where I started, beneath her, dependent on her. But here's the thing Vanessa didn't know. I had proof. All those years she cheated on me, I kept the messages. Screenshots, photos, receipts. Every time she laughed in my face and said, "It was nothing serious," I documented it. Not because I planned to use it, at least not then, but because deep down, I knew one day I might need it. And now, with her trying to weaponize her following against me, that day was close. Derek wanted me to expose her immediately. Post the screenshots, Brad. Show the world who she really is. Marcus was more cautious. Don't do it out of anger. Wait until the time is right. If you hit back too soon, it'll look petty. Time it so she can't recover. I was torn. Part of me wanted to blast her right then and there. Another part of me wanted to rise above it, to let my growth speak for itself. But every time I opened my phone and saw her followers trashing me, the anger grew. The moment that broke me happened about a year after my page blew up. Vanessa went live again, this time crying fake tears. "I tried to support Brad," she said, her voice breaking, "but he's been so cold, so distant. I feel like I don't even know him anymore. Honestly, I think he only stayed with me because of my platform." That was it. The woman who I forgave for cheating, who I stood by for 5 years, was now painting me as the user. I looked at Marcus and Derek and said, "It's time." We didn't rush. We planned. I compiled every piece of proof I had, screenshots of her conversations with other guys, timestamps, even photos she'd sent them while lying to me about brand shoots. I organized it all into a clear timeline. Derek helped me edit a video. Professional, calm, no yelling, no insults. Just the facts. I recorded the narration myself. For years I believed I wasn't good enough. I forgave lies and betrayal because I thought love meant patience. But while I was faithful, Vanessa cheated. While I supported her, she disrespected me. And now that I've grown, she wants to tear me down. Here's the truth. Then we stitched in the proof, message after message, undeniable. Before posting, I sat with Marcus and Derek in my apartment. "Once this goes up, there's no going back," Marcus said. I nodded. "I know, but she tried to destroy me. I won't let her." I scheduled the video for the next morning at 10 a.m. Then I barely slept that night. When I woke up, the video was already spreading. By noon, it had 1 million views. By evening, 3 million. The comments flooded in. Wow, she played the victim while cheating the whole time? Respect for keeping receipts. She doesn't deserve the platform she has. By the end of the day, Vanessa's name was trending on Twitter for all the wrong reasons. Brands dropped her. Followers unfollowed in droves. Her fake tears turned into rage posts, claiming I edited everything to look bad. But the evidence was too clear, too overwhelming. Meanwhile, my following doubled. People weren't just supporting my fitness journey anymore. They were supporting my story, my truth. Vanessa had tried to burn me down with her influence. Instead, she lit the fire that pushed me even higher. When I pressed post on that video, I thought my hands would never stop shaking. It wasn't just about proving I was right. It was about reclaiming 5 years of my life. 5 years of being made to feel small, unworthy, and disposable. That post wasn't revenge. It was survival. And when the dust settled, the world finally saw Vanessa for who she really was. The fallout hit her hard. Within days, brands canceled deals. Her sponsorships dried up. The comments on her posts turned from praise to questions. Why did you do this to him? You made him look like the bad guy when you were cheating the whole time. For every 1,000 followers she lost, I seemed to gain 2. My inbox filled with messages, some from people thanking me for speaking out, others from strangers who said my story gave them the courage to leave toxic relationships. It was overwhelming. For the first time in years, I didn't feel invisible. But Vanessa didn't go quietly. She went live again, this time furious. She accused me of weaponizing her mistakes, of being obsessed with destroying her image. She cried on camera, saying, "I thought he loved me. I thought we were building a life together. I made mistakes, but he turned the whole world against me." But every time she tried to twist the narrative, people pulled up the receipts. The proof I'd shared was undeniable. The screenshots, the photos, the timestamps. No amount of fake tears could wash that away. Meanwhile, my platform exploded. The video passed 10 million views within a week. My follower count climbed past 1 million. But the thing I'm proudest of isn't the numbers. It's the shift in what I was saying and who was listening. I stopped just talking about fitness. I started talking about standards, about self-worth, about not letting yourself shrink to fit someone else's world. One of my most shared posts was simple. Stop asking yourself if you're good enough for them. Start asking if they're good enough for you. People resonated with that more than any workout routine I'd ever shared. My family saw it all too. My mom called me after watching the video. "Brad," she said softly, "I knew something was wrong all those years. I just didn't know how bad it was. I'm proud of you for standing up for yourself." Hearing that nearly broke me. For years, I'd hidden the truth from my family because I didn't want them to see how low I'd sunk. Now they saw me rise. Even my sister, who had adored Vanessa at first, messaged me. "I always thought she looked down on you. I'm glad everyone finally sees it too." A month after the video went viral, Vanessa texted me. "We need to talk, in person." For a second, my old self, the Brad who forgave her after catching her cheating, almost wanted to say yes. But then I remembered everything I'd been through, every night I'd laid awake wondering why I wasn't enough. So I typed back, "There's nothing left to say." That was the last time I heard from her directly. Looking back, I realized the hardest part wasn't catching her cheating. It wasn't forgiving her. It wasn't even watching her try to destroy me with her followers. The hardest part was admitting how little I thought of myself. I'd spent years believing I was lucky just to stand next to her, that her beauty and status made her out of my league. I told myself that forgiving her made me strong, when really it made me weak. It took Marcus, Derek, and the gym to remind me that my worth wasn't something she could decide. It was something I had to build myself. Now, when I post online, I don't just share my story. I share a message I wish someone had drilled into me years ago. Never feel beneath someone just because they have fame, followers, or status. Respect yourself enough to know your value. And if they cheat, lie, or make you feel small, they're the ones unworthy of you, not the other way around. That line alone got shared across platforms, stitched into TikToks, even quoted in articles. People started calling me the everyday motivation guy. But really, I was just a man who learned the hard way that self-respect matters more than anything. Marcus and Derek stayed by my side through it all. One night after a workout, Marcus patted my shoulder. "See, man, you thought the gym was about muscles, but it was about building you back up." And Derek, in his usual blunt way, added, "You were trash back then, Brad. Sorry, but you were. Now you're someone who actually respects himself. About time." I laughed so hard I nearly dropped my protein shake, but deep down, I knew he was right. They'd saved me from myself. It's been 2 years since I posted that video. I've built a full-time career as a motivational influencer. I speak at schools, at gyms, even at corporate events. I've turned my pain into something useful, something that helps others. Do I still think about Vanessa? Sometimes, but not with anger anymore. Just clarity. She was a chapter in my story, a painful one, but one that shaped me into who I am now. And if she ever tries to come back, I won't need screenshots or videos this time. I'll just say, no. If you take anything from my story, let it be this. Don't stay with someone who makes you feel like you're lucky just to breathe their air. Don't forgive betrayal just because you think you can't do better. You can. I lost myself for 5 years because I thought Vanessa was a star and I was just a shadow. But stars burn out. Shadows fade. What lasts is the respect you build for yourself, the strength you grow with every choice you make. I'm Brad Wood. I forgave a cheater, I lost myself, and I found my way back. And if I can do it, so can you. Thank you for listening. If you enjoyed, please like, share, and subscribe for more content. If you want to share your stories, please comment below. Additionally, what is your opinion on the poster's decision?